Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Morning Coffee Talks. It is Thursday, and it's a good Thursday, man. I was able to sleep in a little bit and kind of catch up on some rest. Like I said, Super Bowl weekend was crazy. Finally getting caught back up. Um, but today, I wanted to talk about something. I had dinner with someone recently, and I I never want to dive into political stuff when it comes to my channel just because it's not about that. We all have our thoughts, but something was said about the president, and for me, it just it sounded very like a victim mind state. You know what I mean? And I want to make this video talking about your personal economy versus the real economy and why for men, for husbands, we have no matter what's going on, we had to take accountability, right? I understand inflation's rising, right? I understand the job market is shifting. I understand government is printing money like it's monopoly cash, right? But the real question is, are we gonna let the real economy dictate our life? Now, hold on. I get it. When I first started this sales job I'm in now, I was able to work 48 hours and still hit, my numbers to be able to make a certain income. As inflation started to rise, I mean, my everything went up, especially like when it comes to like groceries and stuff. So that was an additional 200 a month that, the cost of my goods went up. So that's like, okay, I can't work 48 hours. Well, I can, but it will come from my savings or my investments. But to make up the difference, I would have needed to work an extra 2-3 hours, right, to make up the difference of the 200. But so that's real stuff that hits us. However, I could have been just set back like, no, I'm not going to work 48 hours. I mean, I'm going to continue to work 48 hours and just allow myself to be in a negative 200 and not do anything about it. So what I did was I took accountability because that's my personal economy, right? Yes, the bigger picture of the economy like does play a factor, but it doesn't dictate everything on how you move, right? No matter what happens out there in the world, the outcome of your financial life is on us, it's on you, right? The real economy, yes, is unpredictable, but your personal economy is within your control. And that's where the accountability comes in. You don't get to blame the economy, you don't get to blame the government or your circumstances. Your financial situation is a direct result of your decisions, good or bad, right? And that was just me giving you an example on how I just made a decision, say, all right, this is how I'm going to deal with it. So again, we know the real economy is out of our hands, right? Unless you're willing to go up to Congress or something and put somebody in a headlock and I don't know, right? Make them vote a certain way. The real economy is really out of our hands. We don't dictate how the feds move and this and that. We don't dictate when stock markets crash, when jobs start to disappear, when companies make those decisions, right? When prices go up. We, the average people right now in this life, don't dictate any of that. These things are going to happen, and they always will. They go in cycles, and we can see that through the history of just United States and just history of in general. These things go into cycles, and we don't control them. Now, we can respond on how, those things, we can respond to when things like that happen. But again, letting the external factors control your internal decisions, it's a losing game. It's going to be a losing game. Your personal economy is always going to be a reflection of your choices, your income, how you spend the money, your debt, your investments. That's all on you, right? That's all on us and how we move. Are we spending more than we earn? Are we not increasing our skills? Are we not saving and investing, right? All these are things that's in our control. Yes, the economy might be tough. Yes, job loss may happen, but accountability always means that we are admitting where we could have did better, right? Cause I listen since 16. I got so many videos talking about. I got one particular video talking about how basically nobody's coming to save you, right? The government isn't gonna fix your finances. Your job isn't gonna guarantee you gonna be up and have wealth and become rich, or even, be in a situation where you can somewhat even breathe and be comfortable. If you waiting on somebody to change your situation, then ultimately you're giving up your power and you become a victim, right? You go into victim mind state. You can't wait on people to come save you. You have to be your own superhero. You have to be your own savior. And the more and more I go through this journey, right, the winners hold themselves accountable. The losers blame the system, right? The most successful people that I'm learning about and me becoming successful myself is you have to take full ownership, even when it's hard times. Story, right? When I first got fired from my job, I had been there like 8 years. This is when I was in my first retail management job. Man, I had grinded. I gave so much blood, sweat, and tears to this company. And one random day, I go in, I'm having a great day, positive attitude, I'm ready to get it, right? And yeah, they pulled, it was a lot. My store was a corporate store, so it was like number one in the state, number two in the company at the time. And I see higher ups in there all the time, so it was nothing new. But that particular day it was a few more. So I'm thinking they just doing walkthrough, checking things out. They end up pulling me outside, and they now, like I said, I've shared the story and what went down. But long story short, they ended up firing me. They told me why they fired me, and it was devastating, right? It was very devastating. But I could have just laid down, but I didn't, right? I could have blamed them like, man, why did they fire me and this and that? But I had to take accountability. And that was the only way I was going to grow from the situation. And I actually, like I said, looking back and see, I appreciate it. I was ready to leave the company anyway. It just, I didn't leave on my own terms, right? And it was not because I hated the company. It was just, I felt like the company grew a lot. Well-known company. And basically, the people that went up through the ranks as far as we all getting promoted and stuff and building this company up in that particular market at the time, I had learned everything I could learn from them. I knew how to run a store like the back of my hand. Like I could do it in my sleep, right? And so I'm not saying I had stopped growing with them, but it was like it was my time, right? And it just, the universe, it was my time to go, and I appreciate it because I needed other experiences through my life. But the whole point of it is my mind state. I didn't point the finger. Initially, I did. I'm not gonna lie. For a second, I did, but I got out of that quick, and I had to find a way to win regardless, because at that point, my personal economy was affected. And I had to find a way to win. But I say that to say again, your personal economy versus the real economy, you have to take accountability. We don't control what's going on in the real economy. We just don't. Again, can we affect it? Yeah, sure. But that's so beyond what we can do as far as actionable things right now. Right now, you can save money. Right now, you can work more hours. Right now, if let's say you got laid off, right? Because again, I got fired. I've been fired, and I know, but I didn't just sit down. And the last point of that story, really quick, was I started working like 3 jobs and I was like, until I'm able to, get back to a position. I was working 3 jobs, and I started really using my network. People I knew who was in certain positions. I didn't have no shame. You know what I mean? I was working part-time jobs, until I got straight. And that's how it goes sometimes. But some of us, I get it, man. You build your life up to a certain point, and you don't want to go back to being uncomfortable. But sometimes you have to start from the bottom. And I get it. If you don't, I get it. Hopefully you can, find, something that's equivalent to what you might have just, had. But it's a tough world out there right now, but it's not impossible. And so we got to do what we got to do. We got to take accountability for our personal economy. Hopefully you guys save money. Hopefully you've had some investments. Hopefully you put some money aside for a rainy day, because we all know the real economy is changing. We all know that job losses are happening right now. But again, do not become a victim, right? Continuously take accountability, and I get it. Listen, it's easier said than done, but I'm not talking from non-experience. I've been fired, man, and I was down bad, but I got back up, and I've learned a lot from that. So the reality is, again, the economy definitely may be out your hands, but your personal economy is definitely in your control. So take accountability for where you are financially, and make the moves to change it. Because no matter what happens in the real economy, the only person responsible for your financial future is looking back at you in the mirror. That's just what it is. So think about that today. Hey, drop a comment below. Subscribe to The Husband Code if you've been watching for a while. If it's your first time, subscribe. Also, if you got any value from this video, hit the like button. And we're dropping videos like this every day, so hit that notification bell. And until next time, I appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.